Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Finally, a major decision has been made, and the situation that was brewing in Murray has come to light. We have now discovered what was behind it, and I will share the details with you. Along with this, today, Awami Khan's son, Shah, was presented in court. His 5-day physical remand had been completed, and we will share what action was taken today. Additionally, we will talk about the current situation of the floods and discuss what Maryam Nawaz is doing these days. Lastly, we will also talk about the actions being taken by the CCED, the Central Criminal Department, and how dangerous they are. Many people appreciate the swift actions, claiming that justice is being delivered immediately. Normally we see people stuck in court cases, unable to get justice, but some people are praising this swift justice. However, we will also discuss how this situation reflects a lack of trust in Pakistan's judicial system. I request you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now let's start with the latest news about Awami Khan's son. Today, Shah Khan was presented in a counter-terrorism court. He was arrested 5 or 6 days ago, and after that, it was revealed that he was involved in the 9th May incident. He was arrested for investigation, and this arrest came after 2.5 years. His physical remand, granted by the judge, was completed today, and after that, he was presented in court again. A large number of supporters were present, and today, many people from Lahore were also there. As usual, Awami Khan arrived with a smiling face and was accompanied by various PTI lawyers. Today, the police demanded a strange piece of evidence from Shah. They claimed that during the investigation they had recovered a baton from him, which he allegedly used during the 9th May attack. The police also stated that they need more items, such as tear gas masks, from him. As a result, they asked for an extension of his remand. Now you can imagine that after 2.5 years, they are claiming to have found a baton from him that he allegedly used in the attack. This is the state of police investigations and their cases. People were laughing about how the prosecution and judicial system have become a joke at this point. If this is how arrests and investigations are carried out, who will support your 9th May narrative? The judge today did not grant further physical remand, but instead gave him judicial remand. This means Shah's bail can be applied for, and I believe he will be granted bail. I think both of Awami Khan's sons will ultimately be released. In 2 days, her elder son Shiraz will also complete his physical remand, and he will also be presented in court. I think he will either be granted judicial remand or may even be discharged from the case entirely. Shah's involvement on 9th May seems doubtful because he was present with Hassan Niazi, but there are no signs of any political background or evidence tying him to the conspiracy. So my guess is that Shiraz might be acquitted, and Shah might also be granted bail. If the intention was to pressure Awami Khan by arresting her sons, it clearly backfired. Awami Khan has raised this issue internationally and received local support, and the government had no response. Now it seems that this was a blunder, and I don't think they will drag this on much longer. Both sons might be granted bail, or at most, Shiraz might be acquitted. At this moment, Awami Khan spoke about the situation and firmly stated that they would continue their fight. She dismissed the claims made by certain vloggers about behind-the-scenes talks, stating that no negotiations were happening, and she categorically denied any such meetings. She further stated that the establishment was feeding such news to vloggers, but these were not true. She also mentioned that they would never back down and they are fighting for the country and its better future. Their goal is to bring rule of law to Pakistan. And they are not seeking any favours, they are sacrificing for the country. Shah's case has moved to judicial remand, and I think his bail will be applied for soon. As for the situation in the justice system, there are concerns about the actions of the CCD and how they have taken the law into their own hands. Many cases are being handled in a brutal and unjust manner, and it's causing fear among the public. Recently, a murder occurred over a trivial dispute of 30 rupees, where one brother was killed by a fruit vendor with a bat. The incident was filmed, but no one intervened to stop it. The lack of collective responsibility and empathy in society is alarming. Afterward, it was reported that the CCD claimed the culprit was killed in a police encounter. This has become a regular story where suspects are killed in police encounters and there are no witnesses to testify. While some may feel satisfied that swift justice was served, this poses a dangerous trend, as it undermines the entire judicial system. The government is effectively acknowledging that the justice system is unable to deliver justice. This creates a dangerous precedent where the police, acting as judge and executioner, are handling matters outside the law. There are even reports of blackmailing, where people are threatened with encounters unless they pay a bribe. This situation is creating a police state in Punjab where no one is questioning the misuse of authority. People are also witnessing how police are entering people's homes, torturing them and violating their rights, all without accountability. These actions, though unlawful, continue unabated. The state's failure to intervene is creating a state of lawlessness, and people are losing faith in the system. Ultimately, this situation is escalating and has become a serious threat to Pakistan's future. So what is their performance? They'll never tell you. And Mariam Nawaz is also quite pleased that she has kept 3 or 4 such friends whose only job is to handle her publicity. I'm telling you all this to show you their mental level. These are the kinds of people who have been imposed upon the public by trampling on their votes. There's something called the people's choice. If it had been the people's choice, we wouldn't complain, because if the people choose someone, that's their right. But here, the people's choice has been removed, and those who have been brought in instead, just look at their mental capacity and capability. They think social media is just a tool in their hands, like a toy in the hands of a monkey. They can keep playing with it and assume they've done something great. But the truth cannot be hidden. Now, various journalists in the field are showing the real situation. In fact, I just heard today that another journalist who had already been arrested once has possibly been detained again as Zaman Lagare, because he was showing the real situation. And yes, the administration is placing obstacles in his path, arresting people, stopping their work. Meanwhile, there are reports that mainstream media channels are about to receive another huge round of advertising funds worth billions. And soon you'll see a media campaign claiming that Mariam Nawaz did a phenomenal job during the floods, delivered extraordinary performance, etc. Of course, if you feed the media's stomach, it will sing your praises. That's what it does. Those journalists who speak the truth are being sidelined one by one. Very few remain who still dare to speak honestly and still have their jobs. These are their real priorities right now. A TikTok-style government, being propped up by national media that takes billions in ads and then covers up their crimes and failures, turning them into promotional campaigns. As for Imran Khan, let me tell you, his Toshakhana 2 trial has once again been postponed. The reason is obvious. The first dose was heavy enough and they probably can't handle the second one, so it's being deliberately delayed to prevent any major decisions from being made for now. His recent legal victories have already shaken the system, so they are intentionally avoiding meetings with him. And this is why the hearings have been postponed, to block his message from spreading. Earlier in a vlog, I mentioned that they are targeting the youth, trying to break the bond between Imran Khan and the youth. That's their long-term strategy, and I've closely observed and concluded that this is a deliberate, well-thought-out campaign to distance the youth from Imran Khan and redirect them elsewhere. Various people have been brought in for this. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari was presented as a youth leader because of his age. They tried to launch him as the next youth icon, but his capability was limited, and the youth were smart enough not to fall for someone just because of his age or appearance. They already have the awareness that Imran Khan gave them via social media. Mariam Nawaz started visiting universities, distributing scholarships and laptops, hugging students, and trying to badmouth Imran Khan to alienate students from him. The idea was to show that Mariam is now popular among the youth, handing out bikes, hosting events, launching ad campaigns. But even that didn't work. Then they tried Imran Khan, who launched her own party and gave speeches about retiring the old political class and empowering the youth. But we all knew that her effort was bound to flop. She hasn't even been able to properly launch her party yet. Jawad Ahmed is also trying to position himself as an alternative, criticizing Imran Khan heavily, claiming that he's the one who can lead the youth, again trying to separate youth from Imran Khan. Now we're seeing anchor Iqbal getting involved. While we don't know what's behind it, he's been repeatedly criticizing Imran Khan, and recently he's been talking about launching a new youth-led political party. This looks like a coordinated effort to break the bond between Imran Khan and the youth and replace him with someone else. Even Shahid Afridi seemed to be preparing for a political launch at one point, but no one has succeeded. No one, not from Imran Khan's own party nor from outside, has been able to replace him or diminish his popularity. The youth remain deeply attached to him, shoulder to shoulder. Despite all efforts, they haven't been able to attract the youth to anyone else. Now, with everything that has come out on social media, it's even less likely that the youth can be fooled or manipulated. Look at the way they've been trying to play games behind the scenes, hiding, delaying, scheming, but it's clear nothing is working, and there's no hope that any of these tactics will succeed. Let me wrap up briefly as I'm dealing with some technical issues. Lastly, let's talk about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit currently underway in China. Shahbaz Sharif has also arrived there, along with other important heads of state. There are significant pictures coming from the event, especially one photo that is sparking major discussion. A picture of Chinese President Xi Jinping, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and Russian President Vladimir Putin laughing and holding hands. This image is extremely important. It sends a very clear message, particularly to the American bloc. Right now, there's a Cold War between the United States and India, and Trump gave Modi a really tough time, slapping tariffs, making harsh statements. In response, Modi shifted gears, strengthening relations with Russia and China. Trump had pressured India not to trade with Russia or buy oil, but India ignored that and continued with its own interests. India now sees value in being closer to China and Russia, especially as a united front against the United States. They also think China's support for Pakistan has been a factor in their recent setbacks, and they believe aligning with China may reduce the threat from Pakistan. That's their assessment. So Modi's foreign policy has shifted toward the China-Russia bloc. Now the question is how the United States will respond, and Pakistan must also reconsider its own strategy. We are trying to improve relations with the United States, but we must remember the United States is no one's true friend, only its own interests matter. Our long-time allies, China, Turkey and other regional partners, have stood by us, and we need to focus on these relationships. We're not going to move to America after all. We live in this region. China values Pakistan's strategic importance and has major stakes here, so they won't abandon us. But these strong visuals at the summit will have an impact on international politics. Let's see how it all unfolds. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.